Teaser Tuesday, Matt Brown on the guitar. Enjoy. Man, you really put your soul in that one. You really are good. Did you do this in your garage? Where do you do this?
I wore sunglasses inside while I did it. I had on a fedora.
The wife has never been prouder.
I had a fedora. I had on sunglasses inside.
He just recreates the Back to the Future scene. That's what he does.
Oh, man.
It was great. I had a pea coat on. I looked cool.
Kelley Bydlon has sent the graphic down to 3 choices. These are all well, not the second. The third one isn't, I guess. But the top 2 are standard Wongers. Ravens plus 2.5 at the Browns. Want to tease the Ravens up to 8.5. Broncos.
Thou shalt not.
You shall not do that?
Thou shalt not.
Wow. You don't even want the 8.5.
I don't know, man. I just hate the Ravens so much. I hate that team.
Quote the Ravens. How clever does Berman think every time he says that? He think he is every time he says that. Broncos -8 versus the Lions. You can tease them down through the 7 and the 3, hosting the now 1-10-1 Detroit Lions, and then the Seahawks on the road. Can I interest you in some Seahawks? Tease down through the 7 and the 3. Again, how bad must the Texans be if the Seattle Seahawks are 7.5-point road favorites?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Broncos and Seahawks is a pretty standard one this week, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's a lot of people's play this week. 'Cause, I mean, you look, and as bad as Seattle's looked, and as bad as Denver has looked, and I understand the Lions did win last week, and I get the Texans have been feisty at times.
Letdown spot for the Lions.
The Texans, yes, last week was their Super Bowl.
Letdown spot,
and that's all they needed. No, but I mean, they're still talentless. I mean, they still don't have any talent, and the Texans by far are the least talented team in the NFL, and so it just would be shocking to me if those teams were to lose again this. I mean, for the Lions to pull 2 massive upsets in a row, I think would be pretty shocking.
Yeah, I'm actually more interested in the Seahawks leg for some reason. I just think the Texans are that bad, but I don't really know what to pair it with is the problem. I don't know if I'm going to have a single teaser this week. I guess one other game that has fallen completely into teaser range, I didn't see this line crash this afternoon, but this Rams-Cardinals line really dipped today. I don't know what was there any news you caught today, Matt, on that game? That's down to 2 at DraftKings. It's 1.5 places.
Yeah, Rams are teaser leg.
Yeah, 2.5
qualifying teaser leg.
They got Circa's hanging a 1.5 on that game here in town right now.
Interesting. Yeah, 2.5 on the Rams. You could add the 49ers in there.
You could add the Falcons too, man. Come on, Falcons are a good teaser leg. I like that one.
49ers are 1.5 at a couple of different rest of country books out there. So you could take 49ers to 7.5 if you wanted to go that direction, which the news on that, if you are wondering, is the old hopeful the Debo is going to be back for week 14. Hopeful, Gill.
They are hopeful. For sure they're hopeful after that.
I would hope that they were hopeful.
Yeah. They're hopeful.
I would hope that they are hopeful.
Literally, like I was telling this, I think I mentioned this last week. If you were giving out the literal MVP, guys who are not going to get actual MVP votes, but they're the literal MVP on their team, Debo's top of list with the Niners. Cordero on the Falcons. Guys like that. So they got to be hopeful about that.
This seems like and again, we're not advocating for you to get all wacky and crazy, whatever. This seems like a non-traditional teaser week for Matt Brown. Like,
is there one or two you're thinking of?
I love
Chargers from 10 down to 4.
Love when you go third person.
Like stuff like that, right? Like Chargers from 10 down to 4 against a completely depleted Giants team that has absolutely nothing to play for. That's going to have no talent. Like I said, they're all their skill players are going to be on the sideline. Like with a quarterback that's making his first start in the NFL. I mean, it's just,
is that 100% that it's Jake Fromm?
It's not 100%, but it seems to be like like that's going to be the case.
I'll play against that.
And so, it's kind of like, 10 down to 4 Chargers. If you can't win that by more than 4 points, then
yeah, I would say there's a chance that I do something like that with the Packers. Packers 11.5 down to 5.5 Sunday night hosting the Bears. That I think right now, if I had to pair something with the Seahawks, that's probably what I would pair it with.
Yeah. I could
Nothing in the account for me yet, though. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
man. This I think it's the first week all year I haven't had a teaser in the account already.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I played a little small one on that Seahawks and Broncos. Just again, I mean that's not a bet on, that's a bet against. They're just too horrible.
Can I
teams.
go back to your Ravens hate for a second? Mm-hmm. You really don't want them at 8.5?
I am very nervous about that team scoring points. And even getting 8.5 points where like the Browns might only need to score 17 or 20.
I'm not running
and
to
you
it.
could still
either.
lose that.
Yeah, I'm not running to it either. It's I just think it's more about the matchup, right? I think it's more that the Browns still have some defenders that can stop the run and get in Lamar Jackson's face and do a little bit of what we saw the Steelers do to him last week. So it's more about that. But yeah, I'm not running to grab 8.5 points with them either, Gill.
Coming out of a bye, so maybe Baker only has 4 different things ailing him as opposed to 9.
Or
So,
they're all like slightly less severe than what they were before.
Groin, foot, shoulder.
groin, foot, shoulder has become just groin foot, or just groin, shoulder.
Groin, foot.
I mean, Chiefs are 9 at DraftKings. If that fell to 8.5, I would be all over that. We don't. I mean, 9.5 is the best I see here at Vegas.
Yeah,
But if that somehow got into teaser range, I would love that.
Interesting though that we're all sort of meh on the teasers this early in the week.
I got to be honest with you. I am meh on this whole week.
Yeah, I didn't like the betting card at all. So
in general.
I loved it,
you did?
which terrifies me because I love the Falcons. I think that's a nonsense line.
I mean, I bet the Cardinals last night. Apparently, that was a terrible bet, though. I got horrible numbers.
I like the Cardinals too, so I don't think very highly of the Rams. I liked Washington getting the hook, and if Waller's playing, I like the Raiders. If he's not playing, forget about it.
Washington was one I didn't think the line was going to move that way. I was kind of waiting on it because that was going to be the one I was going to kind of do non-traditional teaser with, take Washington up to like 10.5, 11, something like that. But that's gone.
Yeah, I got to hear about the Amari situation. Like if he's a full go, and if there's any way that I can get any sort of clarity on that, I think I would take Dallas at 3.5. There's just not enough. There's just not enough people in that secondary for this Washington team to cover all 3 of those guys, which is just the problem, right? I mean, like secondary has been the problem for Washington all year, and so if all 3 of those guys are going to run full game, I think that would lean me towards the Cowboys. But we didn't know that stuff about Amari until we just happened to be sitting here 20 minutes before the game kicked off, and the guy's like, he's not out there like with any of the guys. We're like, oh, well then, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing, apparently.
I mean, Washington's defense again, the absence of Chase Young, who's very undisciplined this year, they're playing a lot better on that. They're getting closer to realizing their potential without Chase Young this year than they were with him, which will change. Chase Young's a smart guy. He's not going to become LeVar Arrington career undisciplined. He'll figure it out, but they're better off almost this year. Poor kid with an injury. No one wishes that on him, but they've been playing well. By the way, Ryan Fitzpatrick, for those of you who woke up this morning wondering, where is Ryan Fitzpatrick? Yeah. He is now officially out for the year.
Yes. I know you forgot about him. We all did.
What was your favorite moment of the Ryan Fitzpatrick Washington
when he
era?
took that first snap, and I think after the third one when he went out for the season.
The way he handed that ball off that one time was glorious.
It was. Kelly, I mean, outside of DraftKings, which is still at 3, rest of country, the Falcons are 2.5. So I mean, like that would fall, into a take it up to 8.5 type situation as well, if we wanted to kind of include that game. Now the Falcons to 8.5 against Carolina would isn't beating anybody by 9 points at this juncture.
Yeah, that's why I brought up Falcons as a teaser leg now. I liked them at -1 teaser leg. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Like that's just can't imagine that.